Welcome everyone. I am back tonight with a stream. The list is gonna look wildly different than what we've seen previously because I had an idea 2 nights ago or 2 days ago that I wanted to test, and the question is kind of the same. It's how can we find Why the Reliquary some help? Now, it is the premier threat in this deck. I guess there's an argument to be made for natural order as well, but the sidekick, if you want to call it, has always had flaws. Now, whether that be, Bristly Bill, actually even before Bristly Bill, like Emperor Bones, Spring Heart Nantuko, Emperor Bones, Bristly Bill because we couldn't test Cat, and then finally Cat came out, and then Keen Eye Curator, just cycling through all these Robins per se, and then for one reason or another, many of these options didn't stick. Um, Usually the issue is those cards are wildly dependent on white anyways, and if you have active white, you probably are already winning. In the case of Kenai Curator, which has been the best of the options, the problem with Kenai is it's only good against a subset of the metagame. And while that was good for a while, it's problematic when Reanimator is such a big presence. So what I mean by that is Reanimator is on everybody's mind, and as a result, there's a lot of decks who will just forego the graveyard, and because of that, Kenai loses a lot of value in the non-graveyard matchups. Because if you can avoid the graveyard, you should. Um, so I wanted a card that was, let's just say, better on average than Kenai when I'm not playing against graveyard decks. Now, don't get me wrong, Allosaur Shepherd has its own problems. Namely, it's not particularly good in the creature mirror matchup. Now, the thing about that is Keenite is not particularly good in those matchups as well. So maybe you don't lose much there. But you gain a lot against the chalice matchup. You gain a lot against Force of Will combo decks, which this deck can sometimes struggle against. And I wanted a backup plan because there's a subset of decks that Wire the Reliquary, while I would argue a top three creature in Legacy, there are some holes in the white repertoire. No, namely these Mystic Forge keyring decks, which white does not particularly line up very well against. Shepherd allows for a much faster clock, and the issue is some of these matchups, like particularly creature combo, is why the Reliquary is not particularly great or slower against, and you need a faster clock. And some of these other options we've had in the past are not particularly fast clock, especially when it coupled with Thoughtseize and stuff out. So my hope is with the elf synergy, leading on our pass, that can greatly increase our clock. That's the theory behind it. And at the end of the day, it's one mana to, power out guys Cradle as well. So maybe the floor isn't that low. Also, shout out to Adam. They go by Adam Wasmo on their username on MTGO for winning the showcase qualifier yesterday. So shout out to them winning on DNT. I think their last name is Washburn Moses, but I wanted to give a shout out to them because it is no easy feat. As somebody who can appreciate that myself. So let's just take a look at this. And actually, to double up, they actually won a challenge 2 days prior. So that's you know quite an impressive back to back feat from Adam. So I want to give them shout out. Hey, oh okay, Wasburn Moses. I apologize. So it just so happened Adam is tuning into our stream right now. So kudos to that, good timing. But thank you for correcting me. I don't know why I thought there was an H and there was a typo. I saw on Connor's Twitter, but hey, Mike, how's it going? So I wanted to give Adam their praises because again, no easy feat. As somebody who can appreciate it myself, having done that, it's coming on 5 year already 5 years now. But so I so the thing about DNT is I actually think the deck is really good, but and I think a lot of people share this sentiment. I think the pilots tend to be a little shaky sometimes, and a reason for that is there are no reserve list cards. So this is like more easily accessible deck. So in the hands of a capable pilot, I think you could do really well with this deck. Obviously, it has its issues against combo, or a subset of it at least. But I think this is the case with Black Red Reanimator. I would say a couple years ago. There, hey, Carrion Lich. There are certain decks that attract budget players, and while that's a good thing, I do think the win rate is hurt by that for whatever that's worth. But that's neither here nor there. The big point is shout out to Adam for winning this. I'm sure he's gonna be making the rounds on what's it called people's platforms. He's welcome to come on mine if he's free, but like I wasn't even planning on streaming tonight because, like I said, I'm dealing with a cold, and it just so happened that I had a couple hours killed before I go to sleep because I took a nap in the middle of the day, so I doubt I'm gonna be able to sleep now. But that said, let's go ahead and hop right in and see how our you know this audition for Robin has been open for a year, and we just cannot fill that slot. It seems like who is gonna be the we're playing Joe L. Who's gonna be the Robin to Water the Rail Aquarius Batman, so to speak. So I've mentioned this on previous streams. I don't particularly enjoy pairing into this pilot. Not so much because of anything they've done, but more so their deck choices. Like they tend to pick decks that I don't think I'm gonna get good practice against, and not only that, their version is always different from what is more popular. If that makes sense. I think I'm gonna go with endurance. I can Green Sun for oof, I guess. I know, right? Like we gotta capitalize on that Shepherd synergy, right? Also, like nobody's playing Plague Engineer anymore, so like we're less punished for going for playing you want to call it Kindred or Tribal. But if Plague Engineer comes back for whatever reason, the adjustment would obviously be to like play Ignoble and just maybe forego some of the synergy. What are we doing here? We could once. Did he? Interesting. I would have thought just that card just doesn't exist anymore. So there's nothing special about going like Finhorn into Safekeeper. So I think we just take that. That's the easy take. So the thing is, in case I drew Shepherd there, I want to just like I guess I wanted to see what I had. The energy actually, you should follow. What is it called? You should follow Andreas Peterson Echo Baron Monday metagame. You would see that he does a nice job parsing like the top 8 list from the challenges, and I think I saw like 3 energy lists or whatever from last week, something like that. It's not because of Bowmasters. Against Nadu, it's probably a little bit faster, and Nadu is the thing about Nadu. Why I think it does, there's been this discussion why it does so much better on paper than it does on MTGO, and I think the answer is like pretty straightforward. I think on MTGO there's just way more degenerate decks like that Nadu has a harder time against, and also Moon Stompy is like much less prevalent on MTGO. I'm gonna save this pitch. Maybe it matters. Maybe it doesn't. That's why I actually think. Maybe we're not supposed to attack into days here, but that might be a misplay too. That bites me down the road. This person likes to play Reanimator for what it's worth. Thank you for the sub, decent. But yeah, there's definitely less oops too on in paper. So it's just like that kind. The decks that Nadu tends to do worser against are just not that popular on are not that popular on paper. So I believe that's the reason. Uh like more all in turn one type of decks. And when I turn turn one, I like include like Moonstompy, for instance. Puts Force of Will into the graveyard for sure. They probably already have it in hand or something. Hmm. That is interesting. I feel like we just jam here. Like, what do we lose, right? Like, I don't think our opponent has removal, but maybe that's a. Yeah, I don't think they have removal. I'm gonna. There's no way they have removal game one. All right. I think we're looking pretty now with the Shepherd. Um, it is, but it's not really draw two, right? It's two dig through times that were just below average. Do we want to? I guess if they go for it twice, maybe. Yeah, we'll just keep this in hand. There's like no reason to. We have lethal next turn with Shepherd activation through whatever they possibly could have. Should be game, I think. We'll see. Unless they have some Omni-Kill here. So I better not speak to. Ugh, that's annoying. Again, see, this is what I mean. Like, they just. It's not even like a stock list. So I dread playing as my opponent here. Do we want to do anything here? Probably. I guess it doesn't matter. I didn't need to do that. That's okay. I guess it grows the Wild Reliquary. But they have a spell bomb, so it's not gonna matter. They have a ring, so we'll pass. 44 month streak is crazy. Decent. That's why you're my favorite Patreon sub for sure. So slight misplay by me because we actually have less mana, not mana, less attackers. Like potentially that matters. Sure. For activation. Oh damn, you're right, Mike. Ooh, that's pretty close. To be fair, Decent's like been on Cradle tier for who knows how long. But I do love myself some Mike, so I guess you guys have to fight it out, like you guys said, right? You're gonna put an Omni here. I think we're probably just dead. Sure. Put in the land, I guess. I think they're just dead, right? putting some guy crit on my nose. There's no need to do it now. Just attack with all and then phase out the Gristlebrand. Talon Gates is really messed up. Like that, you can use it offensively too. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like I mean, win or lose, I don't think we're getting good practice. Win or lose, I think they're probably on Omni. Like to be honest, I know, right? It would make Wide of the Reliquary significantly stronger. The thing about Talon Gates is majority of the time you don't need it because the threat of it means that they're gonna have to force this on the stack or kill it before you untap. So most of the time you're not gonna even need it, but you need to include it in your deck from a strategic standpoint because they know you don't have it. Then they can just allow it to, you know, if it's better for their sequence, they can allow Y to untap and then at some other later point kill it. Like that could be some kind of detriment down the road. What do we want? I think for sure Thoughtseize. They're up to no good. Um, that show and tell. I would guess they have some kind of reanimator package too. I'm gonna call their bluff that they have like at most like 2 rings or something. What else do we want? This is probably I don't know. Do we want Natural Order? Kind of want us to game there, but I don't know how good it is like normally. I feel like they're on Reanimator. Like I don't know. They could have anything to be honest. This person's decks are just never stock, so it's really hard to predict. Um, they beseech out. Oh, maybe I guess they can beseech into show and tell, and then they have Omni. Maybe I do want the Force of Vigors. And if they're foregoing the graveyard, maybe they don't have endurance. We definitely don't need Safekeeper. I doubt this person runs removal. Like this type of deck rarely like has removal. Maybe the answer is just take out Forest. One omission that may bite us, we'll see, is the omission of Lair of the Hydra. I wouldn't. I wouldn't put too much stock into what our opponent is doing. Like some of their choices don't make sense. I saw one of their lists one time at 3 brainstorms. I'll leave it at that. Sure. I would not put stock into their list. Like it's not necessarily gonna make sense. I mean, if you're gonna hedge for Bowmasters, it shouldn't be 0 or 4. So our hand was unkeepable there because we had 2 Wild Reliquaries, but the bog was already in hand. Take that. I don't think that matters. Yeah, like there is the show and tell. Long goodbye. We will take the show and tell. I'm a noted D&T, a former D&T player from years ago. I love myself a D&T deck. Unfortunately, I've just never bothered to update since COVID, like to Yorion, right? Cursed Totem. Okay. I guess this person really wants to like hedge against Nadu. There's no way they're hedging against us. Like nobody plays our deck, so. What are we doing here? We know their hand. feel like we just ramp here. Actually, no, that was wrong because the curse totem. Like, what am I doing? I didn't take it closely. I'm assuming zero Thalia, right, Adam? I know I had it up earlier, but like, take a look. What do they have here? Let's take away that omniscience. I think. Like with the course curse totem out, I don't think we care about long goodbye anymore. F6. I know, right? This is the one of the fears that I have when a card like Curse Totem or Clarion is out. Actually, on the previous stream, we beat a Clarion just with Exalted. I thought to myself, ooh, one downside of playing the Elf package is we're probably not going to beat Clarion anymore. Whereas on the previous stream, we just beat it because we had, these 4/5s coming in. They're probably not happening with this list. Decline to show to use Ponder. What could they have possibly drawn? This card is a beating. In hindsight, I was supposed to probably attack first, so they know, they're gonna long goodbye probably the white here. Yeah. So that was a slight misplay by me. They're probably gonna ignore this for what it's worth, anyways. Show and tell. I don't think we can beat that card with what we have. Yeah, they did. That's what. Yeah. So I think, given that we don't have natural order in the list, we probably cannot beat this card with this board state because of the curse totem. Like outside of drawing Force of Vigor. That's hilarious. I think we just ignore it. We need the mana for what it's worth, or we would like the mana to cast the Force of Vigor. What are they getting here? I think they missed, right? Yep. We don't have any creatures. This is a beating though. I don't know why they're playing such targeted hate. It's not like creature decks are just, you know going through the roof right now. If anything, well, if anything, the most successful creature lists right now are all ETB effects like DNT or something like triggered effects like energy. I don't understand this. Like, I mean, we're getting punished obviously, but I don't think from a meta game perspective it makes sense. I don't think it's. I think Nadu has done. My personal observation is, Nadu has done significantly poorer on MTGO than on paper. And I mentioned why, I think, at the beginning of the stream. I think it's because the MTGO metagame is much more hostile towards Nadu from a uh, opposing decks perspective. Like there's more oops, there's more like Moonstompy, which is like one of the major predators for that deck. There's more just like really fast to generate combo, key ring, things like that. All right, we need to draw our. When did they play that curse? I think they went turn one C's, right? Is that right? Oh, they top decked the curse stone. Just not even anything we could do about it. Pretty unfortunate. Yeah, whatever. We'll leave this back in case they have removal or something. Oh, I forgot what happened. I saw you posted like you went 4-2, I believe, but I don't recall. I don't recall your. Thank you for the raid, Everin. Shout out. Thank you, Everin, for the raid. Okay, interesting. Did they not know we have another arbor? It's very suspect play here from our opponent. We gotta draw Force of Vigor in the next like 3-ish turns. I guess technically, like we can buy at least 5 more turns. Oh, that's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. The good thing is we do have the Shepherd, so that will force the Force of Vigor through, pun not intended. And then from there, maybe we're cooking. From there, perhaps we're cooking. We do have to draw the card though that can get out of this jam. The Cursed Totem that was top deck is brutal. Show and tell. Nope. 6x turn triggers. Maybe I'm not confusing how that happened. All right. We have roughly like 8 to 9% chance of drawing the one of three Force of Vigor. Still hasn't happened though. Like, Atraxa as well. Define cantrips plus emeralds. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Nice. That's something that I have gotten to do every once in a while, but it's always sweet when it comes up. All right, just gonna continue attacking. We're just gonna continue to fog it, and then we'll probably like keep 2 back just in case. Like they have a removal spell. I don't think we care. I don't know what the heck's going on. Like on the other side. Huh. I think we're cooking here now. Ooh, oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. I messed up. I messed up. I messed up. Shoot. There's no. I just remembered right. I almost screwed up. All right. Cancel. It's gonna have to be a Gris. Yeah. It's gonna have to be a Gris, and there's 2 mana here. What are the chances they have Bowmasters in their deck? I feel like it's low. Like maybe we just like do it here anyways, just to be safe. Consign. Interesting. We just pass. I cannot believe they consign seems so bad against us. Like, what are they consigning besides that? I guess just block. I guess it's awkward. Hmm. Yeah, except I boarded it out. I actually threw because uh I made it apparent to my opponent that I boarded out because of the I wasted a cradle, right? Like, and then I remembered. So it's a given now that that was what happened. Da, da, da. If I bog myself here, can I block the Bargoyle? No, it's a 3/4. So no, I guess not. Actually, how is it a 5/6? I guess what am I missing? Oh, omniscience is in there. The spell bomb is strangely annoying. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like they didn't even pop this for the longest time, and somehow they're being rewarded for it. Did not pop this for the longest time, and now they're being rewarded for it. Mm, I think we unfortunately have to do it this way. Actually, ugh, this is awkward combat. If we have another, let's do it this way. If we top deck another endurance, we can double block. I think we definitely need the shepherd to stay cage. All right, they're definitely not playing the Reanimator game plan. So I got bamboozled, right? The fact that they're leaving, this is just insanity to me. I don't know what they're doing. Don't tell me they have another consign. What is going on? My opponent is complaining that I've been drawing lands. I mean, not drawing lands. I don't know what's going on here. If I bog here and bog myself, then this is a 1-2. Could be worse. I guess they can fetch and then pop the thing too. To me, it's insanity that they have not popped the spell bomb. I don't know what's going on their side. Insanity. Do I have another land in the? Yeah, I do. Maybe I just fetch it out. Actually, I'll just stay at 3. Couldn't matter. Is this Grist really just gonna win this game? Like, I have a hard time believing this. Mm, the thing is, if they have removal, then I lose the white. I'm just gonna plus. It feels like they're holding removal. Hey, Joff, how's it going? It is, but at the same time, if maybe our opponent is drawing dead. Like, I don't know what's going on the other side. Like, how do they not have the combo yet? Okay, they hard cast Omniscience now. I guess that's one way to do it. All right, now we're dead. It's about time. All right, let's again, I never have fun playing against this opponent, regardless of what they're playing. Let's get these natural orders back in. We probably would have won if we didn't board them out. Get the bog out of here. And is there anything else? I don't think they surprisingly have a lot more artifacts than I would guess, like the spell bomb. I still don't think that's merits warrant playing the oof. Question is like, didn't seem like they're playing removal, so Safekeeper's probably just dead. Um, maybe the oof is better than nothing. Why are elves good again? I mean it depends on your question. If you mean like glimpse of nature, I don't know if good is the right word. I think it can do well if it dodges like certain matchups, but uh, I think you have to get kind of lucky still. Personally speaking, yeah, that's probably good enough. And I want the safekeeper or the forest. I feel like I'm gonna flood out. Just play the safekeeper, I guess. Like the thing is, yeah, Kieran want a challenge, But I like let's keep this. For what it's worth, you should ask him about his matchups too. So I'll leave it at that. Like not I don't want to take away anything from him, but like it requires some luck in my opinion. Sometimes you get lucky too. I don't know if they're good per se, but I'm testing it. I want to see if ugh, I guess I just take this as land drop. It's not even good here, but maybe good enough. Nice. They took the natural order, unfortunately, but maybe we can draw another one. That land was a pretty good draw. Is true. So now we get a like a power out, right? And we can like cast this force of vigor. I did forget how good a protected green spell feels. I don't think I care about that card. Sure. Again, I don't know why they're playing this. It doesn't make any sense to me. But this person doesn't play anything remotely close to stock, so I guess you can like if you're playing tombs, it makes sense. I guess like that's the one thing I will say. Let's they probably force this if they can. Shieldred the Apocalypse. What is going on? The irony here is now maybe we're supposed to hit this. I doubt it. I could miss here and I get punished too. Arbor. I feel like I hit this and keep them off shielded. The greedy play is um the greedy play would be actually like do we care? Maybe that we don't. Like I feel like we can beat a shielded because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana already. And we just make like 5/5s. Like I don't I'm not even sure we care about shielded. I guess we just this is both awkward because they show they top deck show and tell that Archon is like relevant, but the Lorien is like pretty insane right now to draw. Like damned if you do, damned if you don't. I feel like we take the Lorien and take our chances that they don't draw the show and tell. There's only three left in their deck, right? They Lorien, I feel like we probably lose. Just pass. Yeah, I like I this resolving is probably a big problem. There's that, I guess. Our opponent's just drawing bombs. We can take a couple hits from this. This brings us to 9. We're at 7. Very awkward. Nice. Okay. I think we take the grist here. The question is, are we taking up or down? I think we take down right now. Get rid of the Shieldred, preserve our luck points. The problem is, if they draw the show until they put that in, then we're kind of in trouble. If we plus here, we go down to 5, but maybe that's okay, and then go down 2 and then deal with it. Well, actually, no. Then we're screwed anyways, right? If we tick up and they put in the thing, we go to 5, and then that. I think so too. So I guess we just minus here. Get rid of the shield now. Oh, they're gonna consign. I cannot believe they're getting value out of this card. Jesus. This card is like so bad against us too, and they're getting value out of it. We're gonna lose this game. Irritates me. Our opponent's rewarded for bad plays. I feel like we have to block now. We're getting super punished for not force of vigoring the talisman of dominance. Because we tried to like get greedy about it. Live and learn, I guess. If we had hit the talisman of dominance, like they don't have the shield for a long time. But we thought, oh, we this like doesn't matter. I guess it sort of matters. I guess my logic at the time was Lauren revealed is gonna give them another land drop. So we didn't know we were gonna top deck the Thoughtseize. Pretty brutal. I cannot believe we're losing as children. I deserve to have my Cradle license revoked. We also drew like dog water. That one play is like costing me big time now. And they're like holding onto the spell bomb too. I mean, like I said, win or lose, I don't put any weight on this matchup. Our opponent's not playing anything near optimal. This is so aggravating. Ooh, yeah, terrible. I'm gonna have a migraine from this match. Ruining my night already. It's my fault though. I should have just forced a vigor the. Oh my god, we're playing against Joe Fisher. They're 0-4. I bet you we're gonna lose this person because they're playing something off the like. Why are we pairing against the people playing the nonsense decks? I'm the most afraid of people who are 0-4 because they're gonna play something that I don't want to play against. That is not off way off meta that I'm, and they're gonna just like high roll the 10% that they win. Ugh. Keep. I think with this hand, put the oof back. We can like tutor for it need be. I almost want to just concede because we're just not gonna get real practice out of this match. We're not gonna get real practice out of this match, win or lose. I think my record lifetime against this player is like 19-1 or some crazy number like that. I think the one time I lost, the earth felt like it was falling. Ensnaring bridge main deck. Like, what the hell is going on? Do I go? I think it's that into this. I mean, yes and no. Like, this person could literally be on anything. Like, it would not surprise me to see like a rainbow lance suddenly pop up. That's why I never enjoy my regular I said against all time is like 19-1 or something crazy. X1. But I just don't enjoy this because I get no practice. Because again, they literally could be registering anything. Doesn't have flying even. I think we natural order here. So what the hell do we get? Atraxa. Hopefully we hit a cradle. We don't. Just no fun for me this match. Landlord and I guess we can kill the Soren right now if we just like Talon Gates. What do we even want? I don't even know. The problem is like they could literally have anything. I'm like very tempted to just hit the concede. Oh my god. I'm literally gonna have to read every. I'm literally gonna have to read every card. Hey Justin, how's it going? Long time. This is what I get for losing round one, right? Oh no. What are we doing here? Uh, whatever. This is ridiculous. Guess I get a shepherd. Tick down, kill the planeswalker right now. Do we just leave the Atraxa there as on blocking duties? Probably. Actually, just yeah, I guess we just kill it. It's no, Atraxa doesn't do anything. Actually, I just the cool line is to endurance ourselves in a natural order again next turn. Yeah, I hate that too, but it is what it is, right? If you, I, Jonathan Zhang once told me, the more fire cards you play, the better your deck will be, and I think it's like largely true. I do. Next turn, I do. This is ridiculous. I might win this match, but I definitely feel like I've lost the match. If that makes sense. I might win this match, but it feels like they can block two. Yeah, we gotta be careful not to plus the grist right now because then the white can't attack. All right, take care, Evan. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Apologies if I'm you got some sour grapes from these matchups right now. I could bat, yeah. I could bat. I could do that. I'm not even sure it's necessary. They probably don't see it. I'm trying to get back, whatever 10 minutes of my life playing against this deck. The problem is so it's so off meta that I don't even know how to board against it. Like, I get better. I know how you feel. I got a headache myself. I got a cold. If you can, I don't know if you can tell from my voice or not, but I guess instead of tokens deck, maybe Thoughtseize is fine. Like, I somehow doubt endurance is gonna be good in this matchup. Aside from the random recycle of a thing, I they have main deck and snaring bridge. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Force of Vigor is like relevant. Like I don't think endurance is gonna do anything. Is my guess. So probably that. Like if they have one ensnaring bridge main deck, they probably have four. But again, I would not count anything out from my opponent here. They could literally could have anything. I'm like sweaty now. Oops, all Joes is right. Joe L and then Joe Fisher. The two Joes I dread playing against the most. The only two Joes I play against, as far as I know. And we got them back to back. Oh, that's pretty garbage. The sequencing is gonna be awkward. I think there's a decent chance we're gonna have to run Chalice of the Void. Interesting. Like, do we actually care? I don't think the Chalice matters. It's insane. I can't believe I'm taking a 4 drop when they don't have anything else going on, but I just don't think the Chalice is gonna matter like with this hand. They're gonna Chalice on one here, presumably. That's fine. We're gonna go white, and then they are probably in trouble. Oof. White into Gris is a curve. It's exactly what we needed, to be honest. If they pass here, the game is over. They have to kill this now. What is going on? Some kind of removal spell? Sort of, I guess. Speaking of Gris, they're gonna plus. That's fine. Just the way I drew it up, right? We even milled a 1 drop. Why did they keep a creature out here? Doesn't make any sense. I think the game is already over. For what it's worth, maybe we can get some of our time back. We probably spent more time reading their cards than actually playing Magic. Gotta get out of the random bracket, so to speak. It is now really hot here. I'm wearing a sweater because I have a cold, but maybe it's time to take it off. Dak Faden, sure. I believe it. The humidity is probably insane. I believe it. What do we even want? Green sun. Probably the Once Upon a Time. The chalice, the outsource shepherd is like randomly funny now. But maybe we just want another white. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Do you want a shepherd? Like, does this? Yeah, we do. I think to protect our cards. Uh, Force the safekeeper through. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just realized both safekeepers are in hand, so we kind of need the shepherd. Then we can hold that. I don't even think it really matters, like what we do at this point. Attack Faden, Gris. I'm surprised my opponent has not conceded here. They're like a million miles behind. I guess we just get another creature to like represent lethal next turn. Reclaimer seems good here. Right? That's 15 plus 10. That's 25 damage. Actually, that's not. Safekeeper's not an elf. I'm gonna have to use the rest after this match to cleanse myself of this match. Deluge. That's what it's looking like. Ashiok. Ah, interesting. I guess I better fetch right now. What are we getting here? I'm not even sure I need anything. Like everything we want is already on board. Yeah, you can have it. I don't really care. I mean, yeah. To be fair, we're like way ahead. This is miserable to play against. Guess I just pump now. Ashiok. I guess the Dak Faden. Gris, and then Joe Fisher. Yeah, I mean, I apologize if it's poor, taste to complain when I'm winning, but like time is money, and like I said, my record against them lifetime is just like some crazy number, like 24-1, 19-1, something like that. But I always have the urge to concede at the beginning of the match because I know I'm just gonna waste my time. I should have drawn a land, played a land, I guess, but whatever. All right. Anyways, we're gonna use the restroom. All right, I am back. I just picked up another Gatorade. This heat is killing me. We're in the O2 bracket still, with a Talon Gates and a Atraxa Mo. I guess technically speaking, maybe we should have kept the base in case there are moon stompy or something. Ugh. We have two lands. I think we take that. There's a decent chance we draw another land in the next land drop. Sorry, a third land in our next two draw steps. If they don't bolt our arbor here, we're gonna go shepherd into white, and that's a pretty strong turn two play. If they do bolt our arbor, we hope we draw one drop. They do bolt our arbor, okay. We draw. I think the ideal draw now is dork. I was hoping to hit a dork off the Once Upon a Time, but we did not. Oof, that's not good. Drawing the oof is like kind of bad. They waste here is kind of bad too. Interesting that they bottom the force. That's like one of two things. I think they either don't have a blue pitch in their hand or not one that they want. My the more likely scenario is they have force in hand already, and they're gonna bolt the white. Jesus Christ, that's really bad for us. That is a disaster. I think they're gonna bolt our white too. It would have been nice if we had the endurance here, but to like counter it or not. Do they just not have removal? What is going on? Wow, they really don't have removal. I guess they're trying to play around endurance. Jeez. They like took 3 damage for no reason. But we're drawing the wrong half of our deck though. So I'm starting to see some issues. I forget what that hand saw, but like I definitely wanted to see a dork there, but it was not. Now I think we're just dead because we didn't take the land that we probably should have. Oh my god! All right, we're at 5. This bog is gonna have to do some heavy lifting. Jesus. No, okay. Oh, they have a Murktide region. Oh my god, we're just hosed. Yep. Drew the So this matchup is like good. It's just we can't afford to draw literally 3 out of the 5 cards we have board out in this matchup. Yep. Okay. It is what it is. I still feel good about this confident for this matchup for what it's worth. We just cannot draw the way we did there. Ooh, Fairy's like kind of shaky in this matchup, but maybe I still want it. It's probably better than Saga. Is just another land. Maybe that's okay. Gris is pretty awful. Probably worse than Fairy. I think Saga just has another land. I'll probably have to look at my Once Upon a Time that we. I think we're losing this match. Like, I don't think I can keep this hand. At least they mold as well, so maybe we're in the game. But like, it's kind of a disaster at the moment. They're gonna waste us. By all means. By all means. They have a bolt probably. Am I jamming an endurance here through days? Probably not. I don't think that makes sense. I normally don't advocate wasting mana, but it's literally the only thing we have left. So I think we have to try to get this endurance to resolve. Let's get the Arbor out of our deck, I guess. This is very awkward because of the sequencing. Like, if they go bolt into days, I think we just try to force it through here and then just pass. See if they fetch or not. They can't react here. Hey, Ramari, how's it going? Nice. Pre-modern, I'm assuming. They both the shepherd. All right, sure. The way this game is playing out, I think we're gonna lose because they're gonna start to grind us out, and we don't have any pressure. Maybe we're supposed to bash with the endurance, but I don't know. Oh my god. We can't. There's a cage. I'm gonna bash, see what they do. If they have two spells, I'm effed. I think they have it. Yikes. This is what I get for messing around. Like, why didn't they do that on their turn? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, people make some strange plays. Like that play was readily available on their turn. They for some reason didn't make the play. Now I'm getting punished for. Lost of endurance for no reason. No, I don't. I don't think that's how you win this matchup. I think answering their grindy card is how you lose. It's the same thing as boarding in removal for Beanstalk. Like they've already gone value off of it. That is a start to turning this matchup around or this game around. We should have an endurance, but I like effed up. They have two heats. That's kind of crazy too. Blood Moon in this matchup. Very interesting. We're gonna die this bar. I'm gonna be PO'd at myself that we lost the endurance for no reason. Not that far off. We're gonna lose though to this unfortunate bar because we like messed around and found out. I should have probably attacked to be honest. Oh, it's endurance or bust here. What don't we want to see here? Bog, I guess. That we're no, we're just dead. Um, Terrible. This one's on me for losing endurance for no reason. I got impatient. I saw my opponent was 0-2 and just figured. So if I don't play like a buffoon there, it just the thing is like it doesn't make any sense too because my opponent had that free attack if they wanted. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to just not assume my opponent's gonna make the right play. My opponent here is most assuredly on Reanimator, in which this hand is probably going to be too slow. The problem is, are we mulling to endurance? I feel like probably, right? If we're assuming what my opponent's on Reanimator, then probably. Ugh. This has two endurances. The problem is no land. I feel like we keep and pray. Put the bog away. I hate this gameplay for what it's worth, but you have to against against somebody like this. You can't win otherwise. You keep a fair hand, you're gonna lose. Like the games are very polarizing. Like yeah, I hate this kind of gameplay, but I feel like you have no choice, or we have no choice. Another land here, we probably like lock up the game. We don't land, we're gonna green sun for 0. All right, game's over. Actually, we're gonna fetch here to play around any strange shenanigans. We're gonna cradle here. This is like one of the few scenarios where like I want Golgari Rot Farm because you're guaranteed to hit your land drop, but that's neither here nor there. That works. I think we play the Wide of the Luck right here and pass. Game's probably over. Actually, probably misplayed there, but maybe it doesn't matter. We'll see. There's a line here we lose to that with Shallow Grave. We do have a talent gate for what it's worth. So if they do Shallow Grave, we can exile out the Gristle Brand. There's no need to tap out here. We have 3 layers of protection. Actually, we can fight this on the stack. Yeah. Again, there's no need to tap out there. I think an inexperienced pilot might tap out there and potentially give your opponent a window, but uh, I'm familiar enough with this matchup. There's no reason to lose for no reason. What are we doing here? There are Weather Bloom command because we saw the green. Unfortunately, none of these other cards do anything against that kind of strategy, but we're just like, hope. Shepard is like pretty bad in this matchup. It's just a 1 mana 1/1. There's an argument to be made. Maybe the needle for Gristlebrand, but I feel like we have to like answer the Gristlebrand at some point, so not sure that's worth it. Ugh. We have endurance pitch, but no clock. I feel like this is a mole. We can do better. Mole. We have C's, but like no black source. I don't think we can go to 4. Put the C's away. I think we want 2 pieces of hate, or hate 1 hate plus clock. And the first hand didn't have either. What are we doing here? The problem is I don't like either of these. Our hand is like awful against our opponent here. We didn't have show and tell. We don't. We didn't have the black source. It is show and tell. Yep, probably that. Yep. We guess wrong, I guess. They are on chain with smog. The problem is like a lot of blanks, right? Like we rolled a 5. I think the 4 was like the 7 was awful. The other one was pretty awful too. Like no turn 1 or 2 disruptions. What are the odds with being this attracts? Probably zero or none. So let's just concede. I don't think we're realistic of beating this card. Yeah. This is not exactly the type of Magic I enjoy playing, for what it's worth. But here we are. Seems like they boarded out the combo completely. Actually, no, there's Reanimate. No, I cannot do that. This is like reasonable. Two pieces of hate. White is like significantly better on the play. Oops, cancel. Get rid of the safekeeper. I want to turn to white because that beats their small hands too. Oh, they're gonna cast a discard here. Show and tell probably. Why did they play two petals out? It's interesting. That is interesting. They're probably like, what WTF? Why does this guy always have double endurance? I think I'm gonna keep two things. I think I want double endurance here in case they can somehow like have a discard spell, and then I have a pitch, and then they somehow can beat the Wild Reliquary as well. Maybe that's playing around too much, but what's going on here? If I tap out, they go for it now. Can I lose? Their Smog is sorcery speed. They can't play two shallow graves. I think I just take a reclaimer here. Actually, that makes it easy. What's up? It's probably game. I don't see an out for my opponent. Huh. Interesting. I guess they're getting close to the hard cast Atraxa, right? They're missing 2 mana. Take that, I guess. It's game in my opinion. They don't have any outs. We have the talent gates, yeah. I don't enjoy that gameplay, but like I said, if you don't mulligan aggressively, it's hard to win. Especially when your opponent knows what you're on too. What's with these 4 land hands like today? I feel like we keep, but it's pretty bad. We had quite a lot of 4 land hands today. Swamp. I guess that's a card. I feel like we played the Cradle here. In case they thought sees us. They daze it, they daze it. I want to play around the Thoughtseize. Our hand is bad. We started with 3 lands and we drew 2, or I guess 4 lands and we drew another one. Hmm. Collector Oof or Safekeeper? Given that we have the Talon Gates in hand, they could fatal push our thing, and our hand. This gets a lot worse. The problem is the Tamiyo's on board, but I guess the Tamiyo can attack into the endurance. This will protect a Water the Reliquary in the future. They already used one fatal push. They're on a tempo list, so they probably have three more, and then like maybe some number of borrower. I think I like my odds with safekeeper. Also, safekeeper turns off bowmaster, so that is a thing, or sort of turns off bowmasters. Okay, playing around that Thoughtseize, right? We don't have anything. One of the issues with Thoughtseize, can't take it. Your opponent just like vomits their hand. So they should presumably bin here because they know what's on the ponder. They don't. That's interesting. Oh my god, we're like, ah, we need more threats in this deck. I cannot seem to draw threats. Maybe we're just supposed to mold against that first hand, but I don't know what's going on. I think they forgot. They want to waste this. So be it. If we draw any action, I think we win this game. Our opponent has stalled out. Like they can't get past this endurance, and we have the safekeeper playing defense. The problem is we just are drawing nothing but lands. I think if I were to guess, as of right now, we're favored to win. And the reasoning is because we have more bombs that we can draw than they do. We have more live draws. But I wouldn't say we're a heavy favorite because um, if they draw a brainstorm, suddenly that Tamio is a pressure. But I guess the Talon Gates like is holding our opponent at bay too. Let's like thin out our deck. Like maybe this will help. That's the card. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Or not. Game. The game's over now. Oops. Apologize. Their hand is probably like maybe another Tamio, maybe more removal. Like their hand seems very awkward too, for what it's worth. Like they haven't been able to flip Tamio, so we know there's no cantrips. If I were to guess, maybe their hand is just like all removal and that like lined up really poorly against the safekeeper, and a whole all the like we flooded out. Okay, very odd game, but we'll take it. Question here is Do I play CEDH? I do not. I apparently there's some controversy going on. I didn't care enough, excuse me, to look into it, but I do not. Uh, they're on Demir Tempo. I've been liking the natural package, like quite frankly, against them. Fairy's probably fine against the Bargoyfs. Uh, Seas. I don't really love Seas or stuff out of this matchup. The debate is like whether I want Saga to grind them out. Actually, this is probably loose if I'm being honest. Probably Saga's just better. Just as another land and like grind engine. And I'm gonna take my chances and keep it natural against them. Oh, we lost against the blue red Delver player. This is like a pretty solid hand. Turn one ponder in this economy. I know we had Evan raid us earlier. He would be very disappointed by this start and a shuffle. The reason why I don't like Thoughtseize in this matchup is that it tends to be very haymaker tempo ish in the beginning. So I don't want to like take time off with Thoughtseize, if that makes sense. Like I want them to react to us, not the other way around. Especially on the draw, right? They go turn one Tamio. The Thoughtseize looks horrendous. Bowmasters probably. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think we actually care. They're spending 2 mana to kill our 1 mana thing, and until they have a Kaito or a Tamio, like we don't actually care about the Bowmasters. Maybe they daze this. I don't know. Yep. We do gotta start drawing some lands now. Like that's 2 draw steps without a land drop. I think I have a cold. Um, I don't think I have a flu because I did have a fever. But good observation. I did mention that a few times. I am sick, which is why I have that nasally sound. So, uh, given that you weren't tuning in earlier, you did notice that. I was not gonna. I had not been planning to even play tonight because I was not feeling well, let alone stream. But the Dayquil that I was taking during the day, plus the pho I ate earlier, helps a lot. And it was too early to sleep, so I figured might as well. Give it. I also took a nap that which helped too, and that doubled because I figured, given that I took a nap earlier, I wasn't gonna have a hard time sleeping early. So everything just culminated. Like I said, I wasn't even gonna play tonight, let alone stream. All right, we gotta hit a land drop here, hopefully. Yeah, that, I had pho first and then nap second. And then I felt a lot better after that. Question here is the question. I have like 2 protection creatures, so to speak. They force the reclaimer. I think it's more likely that they have four. Sorry, that I think I'm more concerned about. Let's see what they do here. If that resolves, then I'm getting the safekeeper to protect the reclaimer. And the shepherd can be offense later. Uh, get rid of that, I guess. Our opponent is making some very odd plays. They know we have a safekeeper on board. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's like they're not used to playing a safekeeper. So, because like I said, it doesn't really make sense otherwise. It's definitely that, but like that, I wouldn't fault for them for that because nobody plays this deck anyways. So I'm not gonna fault for them for not knowing a matchup that is like very uncommon. It just feels like they're not very familiar with this card in particular, and it's not like Safekeeper is just like only in this deck. It's in depths too, so they may not just be familiar with the depths matchup per se either. I almost okay. We can't even bog them, so it doesn't matter. We already used our bog. Bargoyf? Sure. Very interesting. Oops. Cancel, cancel, cancel. We do we. The question here is, do we get an arbor? I think the answer is yes. Just because it's a creature. Okay. And given we can bash here, I don't think they're gonna jeopardize their moon, right? We they would just lose their whole army. Yeah, let's bash. See what they do. And I think on the off chance our opponent has like murderous cut, I want endurance now. On the off chance that they have it. Okay, they definitely don't know this matchup because I have an active shepherd. Feels bad. I'm not gonna lie. When this happens, I feel bad for my opponent because they're probably like newer to Legacy, and yeah, it may sour their taste. And usually, I would rather not have that happen, but it is what it is. I don't think they play Legacy much because they didn't seem familiar with our cards. And it's not even the matchup. Don't get me wrong. Like our matchups, nobody plays this deck, so it's not that common. But these are cards that they should be aware of. If that makes sense. Like Shepard's played the Nadu Cradle decks and has been played in Elves before, so it's like they're brand new to Legacy. If that makes sense. All right. Anyways, we went 3-2. Really, the first two matchups don't matter. I lost this game here. Probably could have won. We did Moto 5. But we played pretty loose, and then we had endurance and lost for no reason. Probably a little bit behind regardless. Felt good about the Reanimator matchup, and then here it was a mismatch in terms of experience. I'll bring up the deck again. Um, I think the snuff outs are necessary. The Thoughtseize are necessary. I like the fairy as the fifth endurance, so to speak, because you can find it off for your once upon a time, and you just need a minimum number of just like anti cheese, if that makes sense. Like four endurance plus four fairy plus four Thoughtseize, just so you don't accidentally lose the reanimator. Um, I think three force of vigor. That's like flexible. It can be two, I guess. The two needles I think I like for like the ring decks. There's not that much room for there's not that much room for cyborg hate, but in general I think I like how the deck played out. Anybody have any questions for me? I posted my socials here. In case anybody was curious. All right. If there are no questions, shout out to Everin for the raid. And I think I like the way the Shepherds played out. I think it makes you significantly better, I think, against the blue decks. That's to be obvious, right? But being a one drop is just pretty relevant for Cradle purposes. And while we didn't really get to do it outside, I think one match, I think just like powering up Cradle is a big deal, and I don't think we lose much against Reanimator by cutting the Keen Eyes because the Shepherd helps in a different way. You don't have the lock that you do with Keen Eye, but you do get past their counter magic earlier unless they force your turn one dork. I think lowering the curve helps. You're probably slightly worse against some of these creature decks than Keen Eye, but Keen Eye is pretty bad in those matchups anyway. So I think that is more than offset by the gains against like the fair decks, if that makes sense. Um, Safekeeper pretty super annoying for your opponents. I don't know if I need Gris. Um, there were times where I wanted a lair, but for the most part, I don't think we missed it. All right. If there are no questions, I'll go ahead and raid. Thank you everyone for hanging out tonight.